Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Alrighty, howdy y'all. So it's been a couple of weeks, and we are back with some more Final Fantasy. Got quite a bit going on in the game. Sorry, just gonna adjust my microphone. A lot to recap, and yeah, just a pretty good time. We're officially. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? We're 1 month from Endwalker. Yeah, I'm ready. So I had my fun in New World. I was streaming that for a couple of days. I played quite a bit off stream on that one, but I find that it was kind of hard to be a game to stream because of the way the wars work and everything like that. Like, I had to turn off Discord and all of this other stuff, so didn't worry too much with streaming a whole lot of it. But yeah, did a little bit of work, and gonna have some cool stuff coming up on the stream going forward for some of the other games. For Final Fantasy, it'll still mostly look like this, but I made a new background and border and everything like that for some of the, single player games and whatnot that I'm going to stream. Stuff that doesn't involve, a chat log that I have to hide, that kind of thing. So yeah, look forward to that. I'll be mostly streaming those on Twitch probably, and then put up the VODs here, but I'll always be doing my Final Fantasy streams here on YouTube. So yeah, we are a month from Endwalker. Today is the first day of the new Dragon Quest event, and then the new Mogtomes. Now, the last time they did Mogtomes, they promised us that on a 14-hour live stream, if the devs could beat the community team could beat so many dungeons in a certain amount of time, then we would get a cool jacket, and that is our reward. So for 100 Mogtomes, you get a pretty sweet leather jacket. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna try and level up my ninja as best as I can in the process. Might switch over to gladiator at some point, we'll see. I haven't even really taken a look at what all gives the Mogtomes. I had the list up a little bit earlier. It looks like it's mostly MSQR. From what I understand, Gimlet and Alamigo are probably going to be the two best if you're going to run normally. Blue Mages can burn through Binding Coil of Bahamut in like a minute and a half if you're going to go that route. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about Blue Mage to really do that. So we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. I'm not super concerned about the Dragon Quest event. Like, nothing on there is like super necessary, but I do want to go buy the slime hat, so that'll be the first thing we're gonna do here today. But yeah, a lot of stuff to go back over. Aside from Endwalker being pretty close by, the embargo on the media tour was lifted, so all of that information has started to come out, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with that. Where is the heavy? There's supposedly a heavy that I can buy the slime hat from, but I don't know where he is. That's really all I want. I don't know if I want to have to like go and do the quest or what. If I can just buy it, and that'd be the easiest way to do it. But yeah, so that is probably the biggest thing, is the media tour information. Not a whole lot to go over in terms of Red Mage. It mostly looks like everything's going to be relatively the same as far as Red Mage goes. We change up a couple of different things in terms of how our AoE works, changing some of the spells around. But for the most part, the actual rotation is going to be pretty similar. We're replacing Scorch, pushing that up one in our melee combo, and then adding a new ability at the end. But in terms of like the actual button presses and whatnot, it's not going to be too different. The mana changes are going to be a little bit tricky to get used to, I think. I think that is a pretty significant change. So they're going to be changing up how our I guess we'll go ahead and hop into main scenario so I can talk about all this stuff as we watch some cutscenes. So they're going to be changing up how modification works and all of that good stuff. So mana gains are slower, but spending is also slower. Instead of 80 being our target, 50 is going to be our target across the board. And modification, instead of having to do some quick math as far as doubling everything, it just gives you a straight 50 mana. So essentially you can press modification, jump right into your first melee combo for your opener. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to change up some openers. I'll let the number crunchers deal with all of that stuff and figure out what the ideal rotation is, and then just copy them. But yeah, that's probably the most significant change. You know, I only watched a couple of the media tour interviews, just because there's so many. They had, I don't know how Yoshi did it. They had something like 30 interviews that day. And just a lot of information. But I did watch Asmongold and Riches. I thought their interview was very good. And it makes sense. They've got a lot of experience doing professional interviews, so some of their questions, I think, were a little less jokey than some of the others. They were taking it pretty seriously, which I thought was really good, really nice. They had some good questions, and then I did watch Zepla's. Zepla's was a little jokier, but there was still some good information on there. I thought her information as far as the new classes was really insightful. She really likes Reaper, which is interesting because Reaper's like one of those classes that I'm just really not super interested in. But she really liked it. She said there's only like 2 positionals, so that does help out a lot as far as my interest goes. The big thing with a lot of melee classes is the positionals for me, and just having to juggle all of that at the same time. So I think for new players, Reaper is going to be a very interesting choice. I have a feeling we're going to see quite a few of them out and about. But what I found really interesting was her take on Sage, and she said it was actually fairly complicated. She didn't seem like she was a very big fan of it, which, you know, Zepla, I know she's not a healer main, and she kind of reiterated that multiple times in the interview. But keep in mind, she is a legend, a triple legend as far as I'm aware. She knows her stuff, so if she thinks it's pretty complicated, then I have a feeling that, yeah, it is probably going to be pretty tricky. She made it sound like there's just a lot of OG CDs, and she didn't explicitly say it, but the way she was kind of talking about it makes it seem like it doesn't flow necessarily all that well together. It's more reactive than it is setting things up. So I think that's going to be interesting. Sage is the class that I've probably been interested the most out of the 2. If I'm going to be a healer main, that's kind of the one that I was looking for. She says it is a lot of fun in terms of like how you have to like shoot and all of that stuff. So you can go and check out her video on it on YouTube. It is separate from the interviews that she did. She made a separate video just for Reaper and Sage. It was like her first impressions of the media tour, first impressions of Endwalker, or something like that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty insightful. I thought that was very interesting, her take on Sage. So we'll just have to see how that all kind of how all of that kind of comes together. I guess I can go ahead and do this while I'm waiting. I don't know where the heavy is. So yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. And then of course she did a whole video about the bunny emote, so that's interesting. Very on brand for her. But yeah, so yeah, that was kind of the big news. She did say that she had a chance to try the dungeon, Tower of Zot, and then check out a couple of new zones. What she said about Charlian being gigantic, I'm pretty excited about that. She said they didn't have any NPCs or anything like that really set up for it. All of them had just kind of like placeholder text to kind of keep spoilers out. But she said the size was just massive, probably the biggest city that we've had yet. So I'm pretty excited about that. You know, being on an RP server as my main, that's you know, big cities, lots of places to play around. That is always probably my favorite aspect of the game is the world building, stuff like that. So we'll just have to speak to the beefy businessman. Where do I have to go for that? Oh, he's down near the Thaumaturge's Guild. Okay. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to visit Charlotte. Now, in terms of my news, I will be streaming Endwalker pretty much nonstop once it drops. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of people doing the same thing, so you know, if you don't catch me live, feel free to catch the video on demands and all of that and get all the reactions and everything. I'll try and clip out all of the really interesting moments more than I usually do. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty wild ride. I am currently unemployed, so I have all the time in the world until I find something. So yeah, that's kind of the game plan for that. I'll be putting it up. Most of them probably won't be like super listed, or maybe they will be. Maybe I'll go through sometime this week and just go ahead and put in the time slots for as much of that as I can. All of this, of course, is server willing. I have no idea how the servers are going to hold up for the launch. That's going to be the big X factor for a lot of us. Generally, Square is pretty good about keeping everything ready to go, but we are probably going to have some pretty long queue times to get started. I cannot think of an MMO release that has been this anticipated in a very long time. I know New World did very well, and they had a lot of issues keeping the servers going when they launched. Very long queue times, but I think Endwalker is about ready to smash some records. So, like I said, I'm going to try putting the streams up. A lot of that is going to be subject to change upon how the actual launch goes. So just kind of be aware that that is the game plan for now. But yeah, some of the stuff that that I saw in Asmon and Rich's interview that I thought was going to be pretty interesting. My favorite part was probably when Asmon asked him about solo difficult content. And Yoshi, he said that feedback had been heard and that they are taking it into consideration. They will have an announcement for the live letter for 6.1. But it was more how he said it. Like, if you watched his reaction, he had a pretty big grin on his face the entire time answering that question. So something's up with the solo difficult content. You know, Asmon was talking specifically in the realm of like the Necromancer title and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Yoshi was being pretty coy about it, and you could definitely tell that there is something in the works. I am very excited to see what it's going to be. If they do something similar to, you know, WoW's Mage Tower or the Masked Carnival, I might never log off the game. I'll be honest, I might never log off if they put a Mage Tower-esque thing here in Final Fantasy. I mean, I'm always game for new deep dungeons too. You know, it's been a couple of expansions since we've had a deep dungeon, so you know, I'm a big fan of those as well. But yeah, difficult content for solo players, and the big grin that he had on his face is it gives me some pretty high hopes. They didn't discuss it too much as far as the extra PvP mode. I am still hoping as much as possible for Blitzball, and we'll just have to see how that goes. But they did talk a little bit about the island sanctuaries. He said, you know, a lot of people are expecting... Sorry, this microphone is just kind of bugging me with its placement. I just bought like a janky, you know, Chinese knockoff for my Yeti, and I'm just kind of making do with that. He did talk a little bit about the island sanctuaries, and he said a lot of people are expecting it to be Animal Crossing-esque. And he said, don't give your hopes up for that. He said, you know, Animal Crossing has had several games and several iterations to kind of perfect what they do. Final Fantasy, it's not going to be that big. This is their first time doing it, first of all, and they haven't had the time to grow like Animal Crossing has. But, you know, he did say it is going to be some nice content to just kind of veg out and chill. And he made it sound like essentially player housing just with farms. And, I'm pretty excited for that. I do like the prospect of having a farm that you can build and grow and place buildings in and that kind of stuff. He said, you know, building placement is something that's going to be pretty big on it. Yeah, you know, you're just probably not going to be able to like date the villagers and that kind of thing like you can in Animal Crossing. That's going to be probably the biggest thing that he was referring to is the actual RPG aspects of it. But in terms of like the house building and management and that kind of thing, it sounds like it's going to have quite a bit to it. And yeah, it might be their answer to you know, instance player housing of a sort. We don't know the limitations on it yet or anything like that in terms of what you can do, what you can customize, that kind of thing. But it did sound like it's not going to be as big as Animal Crossing, but it is going to be a pretty significant aspect of Final Fantasy. That there's going to be quite a bit to do with the game. And that's really all I think people are asking for, is some pretty chill solo content. A place to build a farm without having to worry about the actual housing purchases. They did talk a little bit about the housing system updates and how it's going to be, how it's going to work. He said there will be significant punishments for people trying to purchase multiple houses through the lottery system. So it sounds like you can put in the lottery. I'll have to go back and read it, but it sounds like you can put in for more than one house lottery at a time, but it's kind of like exponential punishment for each additional house that you try buying into. Because the way that it works is you basically put in a deposit, and then if you don't win the house, you get your deposit back. But as you try buying multiple houses, it sounds like a bigger and bigger chunk of your deposit is taken. So you'll run through your money pretty quickly trying to purchase entire wards and that kind of thing. Overall, if you guys have watched my video on housing, it sounds like exactly what I was asking for. You know, I've been pushing for the lottery system for, God, it's been 2-3 years now, whenever I made the the housing crisis vid. And yeah, it sounds like they've got a good system in the works, and it's going to give people an equal opportunity for most things. The biggest thing, of course, is that you're not going to have to stand in front of the placard. I think that's really all people ask. I mean, I don't think people are necessarily as upset that housing is hard to get. You know, if we did instant player housing, you'd lose the wards and a lot of RP spots, which I think would be a pretty big drawback to part of the appeal of housing. Yeah, I think the lottery system allows us to keep the RP and keep the wards. Welcome to Prae. Yeah, so this has been an interesting run. It seems like we've got a ton of sprouts. But yeah, so we're going to be able to keep the wards and keep the housing, but gives everyone a fair chance, and you do not have to stand in front of the placard. As long as people do not have to stand in one place for 12 hours, I think that's going to be pretty significant in terms of helping the process along and making it not feel as bad as it does right now. So, all right. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting Prae run. I'm thankful that this is Prae with sprouts instead of Castrum. Castrum's a little trickier in terms of where you have to go. At least Prae is kind of like pretty linear. So yeah, lots of good info out there. Zeppela did say that the way that it worked is they actually did not get to keep all of their recordings and stuff. They recorded all of their stuff on like the 29th or something like that of September, and then it had to be kept by Square until the embargo was up, and now they have to get all the footage that they took back and edited and all of that. So she said she's going to do a bigger breakdown of all the classes a little bit later. She said 6 hours really wasn't a whole lot of time for them to play around, so I don't know how much content a lot of these guys are going to do. There was something like 36 people interviewed for the media tour, so I think split between everyone's kind of got a different focus. There's going to be a lot of good information as far as the individual class breakdowns coming out. But yeah, she has to wait for that footage to get back and edit it. I don't know if she's put up anything today. Haven't really had a chance to take a look. Sorry, moving my heater close by. It's getting kind of cold. But yeah, between everyone, I think we'll have quite a bit of good information. Like I said, Red Mage doesn't change as much. She said Summoner's going to be pretty interesting. She really liked it, but she said she thinks a lot of players might not if they were previous Summoner mains, because it is so much easier than it used to be. So if you liked the complexity of the previous Summoner, she says now it's almost Dancer level of ease in terms of how easy it is to play. Which I thought that was a pretty interesting little tidbit. But she said it does feel great. It feels like an actual summoner now. So that's going to be pretty cool to check out once that actually hits. So that's a pretty significant one. I haven't heard too much about Monk. She didn't talk too much about Monk changes or anything like that, I think. She's always been kind of focused more on the casters and that kind of thing. But Monk will be pretty interesting to see the changes on that. I don't know if there were too many Monk mains in the media tour. But yeah, that'll be a pretty significant update as well. Probably not quite as big as Summoner, but it seemed like it had probably the next biggest. But yeah, as far as Red Mage goes, I think we're pretty much in a good spot. You know, don't need to change a perfect class all too much. I do want to get this guy, my ninja, leveled up so I can start leveling. Let's say I'm working on Gladiator right now. He's only like level 16 or something like that, so not super high. But I do want to start working on Machinist. I think Machinist is like the next range. Might actually be my last range that I have to get, come to think of it. But I've heard so many good things about Machinist over the years, and now they get a chainsaw. I do want to give that a shot. So that might be the next class that I level up. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the rest of my classes up to 80 by Endwalker. That's just I would really have to be chain running with no sleep over the next month. I really wanted the Amaro mount, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I can pull a Rich and try doing no sleep. You know, they're having some fun right now. They're trying to do T. He's chain running it and not allowed to leave until they beat it. Good luck, Rich. My group is still, what, 2 months in, and we still haven't gotten past Living Liquid. Now, to be fair, we are doing the whole blind run thing, which I'm still not a huge fan of, but it's leading to some pretty interesting strats. And I didn't have to, like, put in a guild application or talk to anyone on Discord to do it, so I guess I'm sticking with them for the next month. I missed the past couple. We've had some fills that got in first, and you know, I'm fine with that as long as we're still on Living Liquid. If we start getting it into Limit Cut and I'm not getting pulled into practice, then I'll have some issues. But we're getting pretty close. I think once we get to Limit Cut and Brute Justice, I think things will start going a little easier. I know Brute Justice is the other like really hard part, but I think just the ease of not having Living Liquid as like this giant burden on our shoulders is going to do a lot for morale. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But we are making progress. We are getting quite a bit better. It's definitely as hard as people say. Obviously, Rich has a bunch of like world firsters on his team, so should go a little bit easier for him. I think they got to Limit Cut yesterday, which is a lot more progress than I've had. So good for them. But yeah, we'll just we'll keep plugging along at that every, I think, Wednesday and Saturdays now. I don't know, we keep changing the time. That's part of the problem with me not getting pulled in for a couple, is we would change it at the last minute. Still trying to figure out what works best for everyone, and it can get a little tricky. But I am having fun with it. I do like it. I do wish we would put aside the whole please don't watch any guides thing for the next month. You know, we're pushing the time a little bit close. I think if we don't watch some guides, I don't think we're going to get it done before Endwalker. I just don't think it's going to be possible. And it will probably get significantly harder after Endwalker with the number squish from what everyone's been saying. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I think if we did start watching some guides, the group's definitely good enough to pick it up pretty fast. Let's see. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Next big things I've got going on for the stream. I mean, obviously I'm going to be probably streaming Mogtomes and that kind of thing for the next couple of days at least, until I get the jacket on one character. I'll worry about the second character off stream or something. I do still want to buy Kena Bridge of Spirits. I kept holding off, hoping it would go on sale or something like that with Halloween, but no luck. It is an EGS exclusive, so I doubt they will put it on sale anytime soon. But yeah, money's kind of a hold up for me right now in terms of purchasing new games to play. But I think that is going to be one. I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks. I do really want to play it and stream it, so I'll probably put that up over on Twitch at some point. And then yeah, the complete Final Fantasy playthrough. I'm not going to be able to get that done before Endwalker, but that might be good for some downtime between the first raid comes out. And the lead up until then with the Mogtomes and everything. So yeah, I'm going to play through every Final Fantasy game, every mainline Final Fantasy game, I should say. I will not be playing 11 because that's an MMO with the sub. And obviously 14 I stream enough as it is, so so those will be the only two that won't be included, but I am going to play through all of the sequels, so X2, 13-2, and Lightning Returns will be included, and then I do want to throw Tactics in there, so that'll be the big list. I tried starting it once before, but it was like on an emulator version of the first Final Fantasy, which has way too much grinding in it. Now that the remasters are out, apparently they've fixed a lot of that. So so yeah, I will play through the remastered versions on a lot of that stuff, and hopefully it'll take down some of the grindiness of the first game. But if you didn't watch me do it, or at least attempt to do it over on Twitch before, I've got a whole background and everything that I made for it to show what game I'm on, and very Final Fantasy-esque. So you'll see the whole list when that goes up. I do love the music here. It is great. Yeah, I have no idea where we're gonna go for Endwalker. You know, they were all being pretty cryptic again in terms of the story and everything. Not giving out too much information. Said, you know, the story is all about the friends we've made along the way, and you know, other very cryptic things like that. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I really hope they don't kill off some of these characters. I have a feeling Thancred and Urianger might go back to the first, but I think a lot of people are going to be pretty upset if they kill off Y'shtola. You know, even if it is emotional as a story beat and important to the story, she's basically the mascot of the game at this point. I don't even know how Square PR would handle something like that. Even if the story was fantastic, I think you'd have a lot of people upset. You know, I think Alizé and Alpha No might go off to do their own adventures or something like that. But that's all assuming everything works out in the end. I mean, it could be that, like, the rejoining does happen and Hydaelyn and Zodiark are dead and we have to start on a whole new world. Yeah, kind of like Shadowbringers, but everything's joined. I mean, who knows? It really is all up in the air at this point. I think at this point we kind of figure Zodiark and Hydaelyn are going to be gone in some capacity, but we don't really know how that's going to affect the world. Yeah, just a lot up in the air. I think there's a lot of assumptions being made, and we don't really know how they're going to handle it. And, you know, I don't think a lot of people predicted what was going to happen in Shadowbringers. It's not like a certain other game where everything's kind of like, no, this is, you don't know what's going to happen, and then everyone does know what's going to happen. Yeah, Square's been pretty good about keeping things under wraps, so we'll just have to see how that goes. Let's see. Trying to look through the Discord and see what the current run of spoilers are. It's mostly just people talking about Shadowbringers right now. Guess we've got a couple sprouts that just hit Feaul, Titania. That was always a fun little segment. All right, now we talk to Nero. But yeah, so we'll have a little chat while this plays. Ooh, I like the Nox, Noctis glam back there. So yeah, Yoshi had a lot of interesting stuff to say. Like I said, mostly in Rich's and Asmon's interview from what I watched. You know, I thought it was a good again that he reiterated, like, hey guys, you know, it's okay to play other games. We hope you play other games and give yourself a nice little break. And you know, if you guys are having fun with the game, then that'll show to your viewers. I know Preach was reacting to that. He's like, if only it were that easy. Well, I mean, one's forcing you to play one game. That's something you guys built on your own. I fully expect most of the streamers I watch to play multiple games. But then again, I mostly watch VTubers these days, so it kind of comes with the VTuber territory, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was just, again, really good and a stark contrast from other games, you know, having the director say, hey, no, play other games. You know, it's okay to take a break. You know, it was interesting because Asmon and Rich's interview mostly talked about more like the development process. They didn't really talk about spoilers as much as they were discussing, like, you know, how the game is actually made. So that was a lot of good insight on that. And most of the other interviews were a little bit more, you know, Endwalker focused, and I'm sure that, you know, for the most part, it was pretty off the cuff, which was pretty nice. They didn't have like they didn't have to like give them the questions ahead of time or anything like that, as far as I know. More than likely, Square might have given them a list of given all of the media tour streamers a list of questions that they couldn't ask. That's pretty common, but it didn't seem like they had to pre-approve questions from the streamers. It was all pretty off the cuff, and for the most part, everyone did pretty good. It didn't actually sound like there was a whole lot of Endwalker spoilers or too much discussion. It was actually a lot of stuff about the development process and you know, a little bit about the direction that they were going from the interviews that I've had a chance to watch. Most of the Endwalker stuff seemed to come from the big press stuff like Gamer Escape, and IGN, that kind of thing. You know, that's where I got the information about stuff like the island sanctuaries and small things like that. I don't think too much of it was a surprise. Most of the media tour stuff in regards to the streamers was more to show them the game, show them some of the zones, that kind of stuff, and to try out the new classes. So most of the media tour information, as far as I saw, was really coming from that angle. Again, I still need to watch. I haven't watched Ms. Tech's interview yet. Couple others that I need to go back and give a look at. But yeah, most of the media tour seemed really focused on the actual 6-hour trial that they got. So that's where most of the information is coming from in terms of the class changes and that kind of stuff. Okay, so we managed to burn through that one. But yeah, to say I'm hyped is that's a pretty big understatement. I am waiting for them to put up the pre-order items. I mean the collector's edition items up on the shop. I don't think they've done that yet. So if you did buy the collector's edition, your mount and all of that stuff, they usually put that up during the pre-patch, I think. I can't remember when they did it for Shadowbringers. I think it was during the pre-patch. Yeah, I should have done all of that earlier. There we go. There we go. I'm so bad at ninja. I apologize for any ninja mains watching watching right now or watching later. I'm not a good ninja. I was too busy chatting to do my my opener. Yeah. I think the hype is very real at this point. I think it's only going to grow once we hit that 2 week mark. I think people are going to get pretty antsy about a lot of things. I don't know if you guys follow the how many days until Endwalker Twitter does the countdown. But yeah, the 1 month mark saw a pretty big boost of retweets. So yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, for my part, I've mostly just been but yeah, I've mostly just been chilling and kind of doing my own thing off stream for a little bit. I haven't really actually played too many games other than New World, which that was a complete mess. Well, I shouldn't say that, because I did have fun for the 2 weeks that I played it. A lot of the problems that I had with New World in the alpha last year and into the beginning of this year are still things that I found to be a problem. They just pushed everything back by 30 levels, so instead of having issues in, level 20 or so, a lot of the issues were coming up in level 50 in terms of like the grind and that kind of thing. But essentially the biggest problem is that the gameplay loop that you have at 30 is pretty much the game. That's the rest of the game. And a lot of it comes from the community as well. The community wasn't super toxic, at least on my end. I was Marauders, and our big Marauder discords and everything turned out to be pretty chill. Pretty good about banning people that were toxic and not really, being capital G gamers or anything like that. But I did notice that in terms of the wars and territory control and stuff, that a lot of servers and our faction in particular, people are trying to make it out to be a game that it's really not. You want it to be EVE Online and the territory controls are like super meaningful and that kind of thing, but it's not that kind of game. Territory control really doesn't mean anything. I mean, yeah, if you have one guild that controls everything and bumps taxes up to 20%, then yeah, that's going to be a big issue. For the most part, territory control really doesn't have any meaning. You save some gold, that's really about it. And gold is really not too big of an issue at endgame once you know what you're doing. So yeah, people trying to play politics with the territory control and that kind of thing, and it's just, choosing who goes into the wars and that kind of stuff. It is way too try hard for the type of game that it is, and I think a lot of people, especially casual players, are going to be burned out by that, because I think a lot of casual players are going to see like, hey, this is an EVE Online, you don't really need to do all of that. Yeah, it's just mostly that there wasn't a whole lot of meaning to a lot of the in-game stuff. So I had a fun couple of weeks, yeah, but once I hit about 50 and it was like, all I can really do is spam the faction board and the town board missions over and over again. Like, that's the only way I can really level up these last 8 levels. Like, I kind of burned out of it. And I've been watching the news with the that server that went down and had a 29-day time jump. Yeah, that's a mess. Small indie dev Amazon can't keep their servers up. So yeah, I don't know. It is nice that there's no sub, so like, if you want to come back and if I want to come back and jump back into it later, I can. But yeah, I mean, I had my fill. 2 weeks of fun, and it's just like, okay, I'm good. Time to go back to my usual games. We'll see how all of that shakes out. I didn't take a look at the numbers last weekend to see if it held steady, if it dropped on Steam at all. I know Steam was 600 to 700k past couple of weekends. I did not take a look this past weekend to see what it was like. But yeah, that's really about the only other game that I've been playing. I've been watching a lot of movies and that kind of thing. Finally went out to see Bond and had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was a fitting end to the Daniel Craig saga. Now we'll just have to go through the long wait for the next Bond. I saw Dune. Dune is fantastic. I have a lot of opinions about it. Mostly, if you're a fan of the Dune books, I don't know how it's going to go, because it's been a long time since I've read the books. It didn't seem like he changed up too much. The pacing was really good, so even if you haven't read it, it wasn't super hard to understand. I will say that Dune is 100% a Denis Villeneuve, or however you pronounce his name, whatever, I don't know. It's 100% his film. So a lot of it is not going to come down to whether or not you like the books, I think. I think a lot of it's going to come down to whether or not you like Denis as a director. It is very much his film. So if you did not like Blade Runner 2049, I don't think you're going to like Dune. If you did like it, I think you're going to love Dune. It is 100% his film, his visual style from start to finish. Like, it lets you know within the first 3 seconds what kind of movie Dune is going to be. I loved it personally. I love his art style. I love his visual direction, some of the choices that he makes. But it's not going to be for everyone. That's really all I'll say about it. I don't want to spoil too much. Like I said, spoiler-wise, in terms of the story, I don't think there's really a whole lot to spoil if you were a big reader of the books. There's nothing that really changes it out. So it's really more about how he brings the book to life, and that's the stuff that I don't want to spoil. But I thought it was very good. So I'll probably see it again this weekend. Yeah, that's all I can really say about Dune. But I recommend it. And having you guys to talk to really helps me burn through all of this stuff. Feels nice not having to pay attention and run out of stuff to say during the Gaius speech. All right, guys, let's go. Where is everyone? I don't know where everyone went. I guess they're stuck in the loading. And we can still get it done. That's not a problem. Okay. Yeah, Bond was great. I did love Bond. I've fallen down the well of K-dramas. So after watching Squid Game with the rest of the world, which apparently Squid Game is worth 900 million now. Like, that is absolutely nuts for a television property. I mean, Friends is worth about $1 billion a year. At least that's what they told us when I worked at Warner Brothers. The Squid Game as a K-drama being like that is absolutely incredible. But good for them. I was very glad to see Squid Game be as big as it is and introduce a whole new realm and bringing these foreign properties over and introducing people to new types of entertainment. So I thought it was fantastic. But I've never really watched a lot of K-dramas. I've watched quite a few Korean films, obviously stuff like, Old Boy, Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, that kind of stuff. But I've never watched a lot of their television. So after watching Squid Game, I've started watching a couple of others. The one I'm watching right now is Hotel de Luna, and I am absolutely loving it. It is very different than Squid Game. This is, it's very whimsical. It's almost, it reminds me a lot of Pushing Daisies here in the States. I don't know if you guys remember Pushing Daisies. But that was a wonderful little show from Brian Fuller. Very Tim Burton-esque style, just super saturated colors, and everything's big and bright and beautiful, and super airy music playing the whole time. Hotel de Luna is basically the Korean version of that. It's about a hotel for the dead. And same thing, just bright, vivid colors, just super playful music throughout. Very, very good, highly recommended. So that's kind of my current watch. I've had recommendations for another one that's on my list, Oh My Ghost. So I'll probably watch that next. Both of these, of course, are on Netflix. So if you do have a Netflix subscription, give them a look. And yeah. So a lot of media. Haven't really watched too much new anime this season. I'm still kind of waiting to see what's good. Here in a couple days, Komi-san comes out, and that is I cannot wait for Komi Can't Communicate. I have like burned through every panel of that manga over the past month or so, and you got to understand, I don't read a lot of manga. I've read maybe like three or four series total. For me, comics are very much about the bright colors and everything, and obviously manga is usually black and white, so I never really got into it growing up. I've always been a big US comics fan, big DC comics fan, right? So I don't read manga too often. I usually only read it if there's a show out, and I cannot wait to see what happens. So like Nagatoro, I finished the series and was like, I can't wait for this to get another season. I need to see what's happening. So I burned through all of that. Chihaya Furu, my favorite show, period. I burned through all of that. And now Komi. I started watching Komi because I heard it was getting a series and heard that it was a fantastic series. So I watched, I read a few panels of it to see what it was all about, and got addicted. And it is fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough. That comes out on Netflix on the 21st, I believe. So if you've never heard of it, if you've never read the manga, don't know anything about the anime, I think you are, in for a wonderful, wonderful treat with Komi Can't Communicate. That is probably my most anticipated show right now. Beyond that, it's just been the standard. Obviously Demon Slayer's got the Mugen Train arc. The first episode was new, complete backstory for Rengoku, but everything else, as far as I know, this season is going to basically be a recut of the movie, so probably not a whole lot new if you've seen the movie, but might have a few new scenes and whatnot. So yeah, that's the big one right now. I still need to finish Fena Prior Princess. I really like that one quite a bit. So Jahi Will Not Be Defeated is probably one of the cuter shows out there right now. I definitely understand being broke and not being able to afford your rent. So yeah, I've connected with that one quite a bit. I know, it can get kind of samey every episode. It's kind of a one-track gimmick, but it's cute. I like it. Let's see here. Yeah, I haven't really taken a look to see what else is new this season in terms of new shows. Most of what I've been watching have been repeats of the old stuff. Aquatopa, The White Sand, probably one of my favorites right now. But I'm a big slice of life person. Give me people doing normal things in normal environments and just kind of discovering themselves in their community. Oh, I'm all for that. So Aquatope has been just a wonderful wonderful treat to watch. Let's see, let me see what's good. Been hearing people talking about Red Hood. Don't know too much about that. I don't know when Chainsaw Man is supposed to come out. I've never read Chainsaw Man. That seems to be like the big one. Again, they've put out some new posters and teasers for Mob Psycho 100. A Cowboy Bebop, yeah. Official trailer in 1 week. Yeah, so not a whole lot of news that I can see here. Yeah, mostly people talking about the Ava remake at this point, so I've already watched all of those. That was interesting. A very different ending than I expected, but it is nice that we finally got an Evangelion with with an actual ending, or Evangelion, however you want to pronounce it. I always pronounce it Evangelion because I live in the South. And you know what evangelists are around here. But yeah, my Crunchyroll list is getting kind of small, getting kind of lonely. I need some suggestions for the new stuff. I have to go back and watch through some of the go through and read some of my old Reddit threads and whatnot. Oh, excuse me. I only woke up like 30 minutes before starting this stream, so I wanted to get an early start on the Mogtomes. I'm glad I'm getting MSQ out of the way because it's nice to just be done with that. I'll probably do a leveling roulette. I don't know if I'll be lucky enough to get one that gives the Mogtomes, but we'll see. I just want to get Ninja done, and I want that jacket. That's really all I'm after at this point. But thankfully, I won't have to vamp as much once we're done with MSQR. Talk more about the game. I like Ninja, I'm just not very good at it, yeah. I don't know. There's a couple classes that I feel like I'm pretty good at. Bard, Red Mage, of course. Red Mage is kind of like my bread and butter, but I'm a pretty good Bard. I'm pretty happy with how I am as Bard. I feel like I would be a pretty good dancer if I actually played it. I feel like I'm a pretty good Dark Knight in terms of tanking. Obviously, I think tanking is quite a bit easier than DPS, but I don't know, I feel like I'm a pretty good tank. Gunbreaker I can't do. Gunbreaker, I got that to 80 and was like, nope. I didn't really give it too much of a fair shot. I had fun with it, but it is a little more complicated than I'm used to, so I can't say whether or not I'm any good at it. Yeah, Ninja's a class that I have a lot of fun with, but I'm not very good at. I can already see through my playing that it's definitely not something I'm suited to. But I do like it a lot. Sometimes you have those classes that you just kind of like know that you're not good at, but you still have a lot of fun with. I feel like Dragoon is like that. I don't think I'm necessarily a great Dragoon, but I do have a lot of fun when I play it on my alts. And that's good because I'm going to have to level it from scratch again on this character. I've leveled it 2 or 3 times on alts and never did it on my main for some really dumb reason. I don't know why. Yeah. So I'll have to get back into the Dragoon mindset. All right, come on. I'm excited to level Gladiator. I never did Warrior. I did Paladin up to the mid-50s or so, maybe mid-60s. And ended up coming back to my main for RP reasons. So yeah, Gladiator and Warrior is something completely new to me. Paladin, Gunbreaker, and Tank, I've done all of those. Warrior, I've never done anything on. Can't really Machinist, I think, is going to be interesting. That's the one class that I've started like 50 times and just never ended up doing. For whatever weird reason. The healers are kind of like whatever. I've got most of the healers in the mid-60s, some in the 70s, and just kind of like bounced off of them for whatever reason. Okay. But yeah, I am really excited to actually give it a go. I've heard it's a lot of fun. And those are really the last ones that I need. You know, Dragoon, I have to start from scratch, but at least I'm familiar with it. Most of the classes that I still need to level from scratch on this character are classes that I've never done before. It's only a couple. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh, bunny. That's not good. See, I told you I was awful at this. Couldn't even keep track of what all was going on. I guess I could have used my free one. Almost there, guys. I know it's probably not super interesting watching Praetorium for like the 500th time with a streamer, but like I said, it's Mogtome. This is what the stream is going to be for the next week until I get that jacket. I don't know how much I'll stream today. I'll do a few hours maybe. Get as many as I can. You know, at some point, hopefully, I'll have another Ninja Quest to do. So that'll break it up a little bit. But yeah, 100 for the jacket is quite a bit. Plus, you know, whatever mounts and stuff I want. I'm not going to worry about getting the mounts and stuff on stream. I'll do that off stream. But I figured I would come in and say hi, and you know, it's been a while since I've streamed. And like I said, I've been doing some stuff on the back end to try and make it more interesting for some of the other games that I play. You know, I got to bounce into After Effects and do some more stuff with the opening. Hard stuff with the opening isn't necessarily the visuals. I can come up with some of the visual stuff. It's really the music. Because I don't really know anything about digital synthesizers or anything like that. I only really have guitars that I can use. Yeah, so I making music for you guys is kind of interesting and a little difficult. I could do something on guitar, I guess, but I don't really know a whole lot about effects and that kind of thing. I'm trying to get all of that stuff done in Audition. And since I don't have a drum machine or anything like that, it'd be kind of, I don't know. It wouldn't meet my standards, I guess you could say. So the music will probably stay mostly the same. Just the one note that I pressed in Dex Head and let that warp enough, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I'll do some more stuff with the intro, see if I can come up with something interesting. But I am happy with the background. It's not a big change or anything like that, but at least give, you know, a nice border and that kind of thing. And you know, if people start chatting enough in Twitch and YouTube, I'll start putting up the chat on the side. Right now I keep it hidden, just to keep it chill and that kind of thing. But yeah, it'll have some nice space for that. Yeah, it's got to do. It has a little bit more with the follow reminders and that kind of thing in terms of being in streamer mode, I guess. Doing the business stuff, but it'll at least look nicer than what we've got now. Like I said, for Final Fantasy, it's not a big deal because I got to cover up the chat, and I think most of you guys are just interested in the game. But this other one gives me a few options as far as what I can do for the stream. Alright, there we go. The music's starting. We're almost there. We're in the home stretch. And then I don't know what I'm going to run. Like I said, probably a leveling roulette and hope that I get like Alamigo or Gimlet. I don't know if I'm high enough level on... high enough level to do it. We'll see. I didn't see if Heavensward really had a whole lot of dungeons. That gave the Mogtomes, I mean. Because that's going to be a problem. Really, right now, most of my stuff is the early Stormblood stuff. And then Heavensward. Okay. Yeah, if there aren't any Heavensward ones to give any tomes, that's going to be a problem with roulette. I think I'm level, what, 63 maybe? Definitely not high enough for Alamigo yet. I don't think so anyways. We'll see. Hey, that'll help out. Hellfrog, okay. Nice. Ninky Gauge unlocked. Slowly builds inside a ninja body when a certain weapon skills are performed. can execute, such as Hellfrog. Okay. So I need to go and see what the commands for Hellfrog are. That's the AoE one, isn't it? I think it is. Right, so I just hit 62. So what all can I do? Yeah, see, all of this stuff is locked out, so I cannot do Alamigo. I can do ARC, though. Can't do Balesars yet. Okay. The Hellfrog. I think yeah, Hellfrog medium. Oh, it's just a straight button. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so that one is the multi-target. Let's see, what do I not need up here? I think I need most of it. And I don't do too much with ranged right now, so I might take that off. Trying to figure out a way to do it that's similar to how I've got my my red mage set up, where I can swap in and out some of my AoE stuff. And I guess I don't really need Mug. It doesn't really do anything other than give me one extra OGCD to press every now and then. Well, we're gonna risk it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the leveling roulette and see how that goes. Probably not very well, but no pain, no gain. A level's a level. There you are, you bastards. Need 100 of you. Go take a look. Naruto running. I didn't even bother to look and see what it looks like. Try on. Ooh, yeah, that's sick. Ooh, and it's dyeable. Ooh, that's cool. That's very cool that they made it dyeable. Ooh, that looks nice. Not a whole lot with the white, but the yellow looks pretty good. I like the yellow and the black the most. Or brass, I guess. That looks pretty cool. It looks pretty similar to what the default looks like, just gives it a little bit more pizzazz. Well, especially valuable. Guaranteed to summon a portal. Oh, that's kind of cool. I haven't really taken a look to see what the mounts are. I feel like I've got a lot of them. I wish it would tell you if you already had it or not. I think I've got the Dark Lantern. I think I've got all the lanterns. Because I've got the big bird. Yeah. I've got all the lanterns. And I don't know about the Kamuis. I think I am missing the Kamuis. I need the Auspicious. It's Lord Byakko. Okay. So that one's one of the big ones. I think I've got an Elbst. Oh yeah, one of the Bomb Pelican. I don't think I have the Bomb Pelican. Got the Dire Wolf, I think. Anagarm. All of that would be here. Do I have the Dire Wolf? I thought I did. Maybe I don't. Oh wait, yeah, I do. There we go. N-bar whistle. A steed of legend. Okay, so I do have all the horses, I think. Thought I did. Yeah, because I've got the Kirin. Okay. Steed of Legend, Steed of Legend. Elbst. Or actually use the search function on this. Okay, so I do have the Elbst. Oral Gabu. Drake. So I don't have the Drake. Okay. Interesting, interesting. So those are really the last two that I need. Bomb Palanquin and the Drake. And the big one, the Auspicious Kamui. Alright, and then where is this beefy businessman? I always thought about buying the Dirndl outfit. A lot of people wearing it. It looks a lot better like in game than I thought that it looked in the preview on the Duffy. Yes, that is really all I needed. Yeah, buddy. I missed this so many times in the past. It's nice that I can finally join the Slime Crowned Kings. Job for you, okay. Not super worried about it. Give it a shot. Okay. I'll keep that on there just in case. I won't get worried of it. I got plenty of space for quests. I do need to go put that in my my armoire. Yeah. All right, what do we got? Please be ARC. Please be something useful to me. It's probably going to be Satasha. Knowing my luck. Ah. Well, that's okay. Not what I wanted. Probably what I deserve. We'll just have to make do. Ugh. I'm once again adjusting my mic because I can't see my I have to look down at my keyboard. I type 80 words a minute, but I have to look down to do it. Okay. Okay, no sprouts it looks like. Unfortunately. I would have complained less if we had a sprout. But no such luck. Gotta do this the old-fashioned way. I don't even get assassinate. I get the dream within a dream, but I don't get the assassinate to go with it. So that's my life. That's where we're at. That's right. I do have. I do at least have an extra little thing for my AoE combo now. That's kind of nice. It's weird because I've done the I've done MSQ for so long that I'm not used to being level synced like this when I have like actual abilities. It feels kind of odd, so it's something I definitely have to get used to. Like not having to use my my ninjutsu to refresh Huton, however it's pronounced, I guess. My my DPS is probably like Garbo right now. I'm not running anything that tells me, so I legitimately don't know where I'm at right now in terms of damage. But yeah, I would assume it's pretty bad. And do this to refresh. There we go. I'm just trying to form good habits, I guess is what you could say I'm doing right now. Like I said, I have no idea if it's working, but I'm trying. Okay. There you go. I'll go ahead and get this refreshed before he transforms. Nice. Nice. We did it, boys. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. I'll be fine. Got clipped by one, but not a big deal. It's just a little bit of a bleed. And I can get that HP back pretty easy. Oh, that's right. It does more damage if I'm on the flank. That was my other positional. Okay. Now I'm getting back into the hang of things. It just took me a while to get there. Like I said, I'm not. I never claimed to be a good ninja. Just that I am a ninja. At least in this moment in time. Here we go. I'll greet it. I could probably use some ventures. Feel like I might have been running a little low. I think everyone's kind of stuck in the same boat I am. Trying to level and hoping that we got something. And then luck of the cards was not not in it. It might be a situation where I just need to yeah, it might be a situation where I just need to like manually queue for ARC and hope that does it, you know? Oh, Dream Within a Dream is an OG CD. All right. Yeah, I'm slowly learning it. It just takes a while. I get very distracted when I'm streaming too. That probably doesn't help much. Here we go. Oh, it's only 2, so I guess I don't need to worry too much about those guys. Here I'm wasting all of my AoE stuff. Not doing any damage with it. Yeah. Cool. I've been playing Bard so much that I keep wanting to press Peloton and I can't. Real problems here. Blank time, there we go. Hey, there we go, I got it. Alright. How long is that? 60 seconds? Okay, so I don't really want to waste it now. Okay. Oh, wait, I forgot we've got that trash back before the next boss here. I probably could have used it. Let's see what he does here. If he does a wall pull, yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah, at least the AoE combo there does extend my Huton quite a bit. I forgot that it did that. It's a little better than I thought. Oh, so I wonder what our vault moment is going to be in Endwalker. I feel like we had several in Shadowbringers, but yeah, I am curious how it's all going to go down. I can't remember if the debuffs actually stick through his transformation. I guess we'll find out. Yeah. I guess with him being centered like this, I guess I might be able to drop down the puddle. Like, I'm trying to get into the mindset of, like, figuring out how to do ninja relevant to specific fights. Because there is a lot of that needs to be learned. And figuring out, like, how to adjust that kind of stuff is pretty important, you know? I am glad they're going to be getting rid of Shadow Fang. I just never really did anything with it, you know? Trying not to get too close there. There we go. All right. I feel like this is a lot harder than it needs to be. I don't remember having this much trouble in the vault in quite some time. Might be because I'm melee, so you know, when I'm ranged, I can usually set myself up to be knocked back in a certain way a little bit easier. A little more used to it, I guess. I don't think there's really a whole lot of gear that I need from this stuff. I'm 168, which isn't great. Here we go. I'm hitting just about everyone here. Nice, nice. Perfect. I can't remember how many Mogtomes I get from ARC. I think it's only like 3. It's all barely worth it. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. I mean, we do have a month. And, you know, if you're running MSQ and get Praetorium every day, yeah, well, that's only a third of that. So it's not terrible to get the jacket. It's really if you're trying to get extra stuff where it really becomes a pretty big grind. But, you know, if you're leveling other classes, I mean, that's you should be doing your MSQ roulette every day, anyways. So it'll go faster than you'd think. It's just not particularly like engaging, I guess. But man, I want that jacket. It is a nice looking jacket. It give me a nice RP outfit. It's odd that I would even be going for it on this character, because you guys know I never change my glam on this character. I've had the same glam for, what, 3 years now? Like, there's just no reason for me to change it. But you know, I do want to get back into RP for this last month. Make a couple more videos, have some fun. And yeah, I guess the jacket would be part of that. The fact that you can dye it does a lot in terms of my interest. Now, my cat girl on Primal, that's a different story. I definitely want to get it on her. Because she's a lot more open in terms of like what I want to do with that character. Go ahead and refresh here. There we go. Okay. Just gonna drop the puddle down. There we go. No. Got moved out of it anyways. Can't tell if it might be clipping him a little bit or not. Sometimes you can get just get that little toe in there. It can do its part. Oh yeah, I forgot that we've got the arrows now. That does a lot of work in terms of helping me figure out what the hell is going on. I don't know where they're going. There you go. Nice, nice. All right, moving back in. Okay, come on. Or not. That's fine too. Ah, damn it, I'm gonna get hit. That's all right. It's just a DD. So if you are a tank, and you have a ninja in your party, or a monk really, movement is the death of your party. Try not to move around as much as you can. Kind of settled into it now that we've got our positions settled for the there we go, for the chess pieces. There you go. But yeah, it's a really bad habit I've noticed a lot coming from WoW players who like to jump around because they're bored. Don't like move around a whole lot. It'll be less important in the next expansion, but yeah, it gets really rough on any class that has positionals when you're moving around a lot. Give me a second. I'm gonna go get something really quick to snack on, and then I'll be right back. All right, let's get back to it. You know, I could do an AR, because I'm sure I'm going to get Crystal Tower or something like that. And that gives some tomes. It's not a lot, but it gives a ton. I mean, it gives a few, and it's really fast. Yes, that's what we'll do. Okay. Now, let's see. I know my audio bit rate's under 128 because I had it off. Let's see how long it takes to actually get in, though. I know this guy is supposed to be really hard. It's been a while since I played some Triple Triad, so let's give it a go. Oh god, he's got a lot. Chaos must be played in a random order determined before the match. Okay. Here we go. I go first. Or I can do that. Ooh, sorry about that. Like a little crumbly pumpkin spice cookie thing. And yeah, way too crumbly. Well, maybe. Okay. Here I was thinking someone was going to decline and I'd get to finish. Oh, Labyrinth of the Agents isn't too bad. It's not quite as fast as Circus, but it'll get the job done. Okay. This up a bit. Someone said, "Yeah, hello." So I had to give the token Ohupple back. God, I love Polka. She's probably my favorite VTuber. Oh, she is my favorite. It's not even a question at this point. I was watching her Minecraft stream yesterday. Just, you know, random Minecraft, and then Flair's gonna join in too. You get Moogle stuff for roulette, yes. Yes, as long as it's the right dungeon. If the dungeon itself gives it, then you do get it. Regardless. It's just with the roulette, well, it's a roulette, so no telling if you're going to get one that actually gives the tomes. That's where the trick comes in. Okay. I don't know why I was the one being attacked, but okay. The only problem I don't like with this one is I don't like the music as much as Circus Tower. I love the ending theme of Circus. I mean, I guess Hagglethon or however, Fledgathon, however you pronounce it, it's not a bad theme, I guess. It's just not my favorite from these raids. I am excited when I start doing the Final Fantasy playthrough streams to get to 3, because I've never played it. And I know that this is really all about 3. So I'm really curious to see it all come together. And 4 I'm pretty excited about, because I've you know, done Neo X Death a ton. but I've never played the game that he's from, so we'll just have to see how that all works out. I've played most Final Fantasies up to a certain point, but I haven't really finished all that many. I've really only ever finished Tactics 10, 7, I think. All of the others I'll start, and then I get distracted or something like that. The last one that I started playing was 15. I started playing that off stream, and I got a little over halfway through it before I decided, you know what, I want to save this one for stream. So I got to Leviathan and then stopped. So that's where I'm at in 15. I will start fresh for the stream. But I really enjoyed what I did play of it. For the stream, I will probably take a little bit more time and enjoy myself a little more. We'll just have to take that as it comes. But I did enjoy it. The story is really not told very well. It's an interesting story, but it's it is not told very well. It is kind of scattered. Relies a lot on background knowledge that I don't think a lot of players had. But the gameplay itself was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was the last go that I had. 13, I got to the open world part and then immediately dropped it for whatever reason. I think because I started playing 6 again or something like that. I don't know. People who don't take him in the center are very weird to me. Taking him north, I don't know why. Nothing here does enough damage for you to really worry about it. There we go. Here on Crystal, we should embrace the Bone Zone, as it should be. Here we go. Uma Obi. I don't remember if that's anything that I need. Oh, it's a belt. So that's going away anyways. They did say for the belts that I thought was interesting, like you're not going to be able to put them up on the marketplace once the belts are removed, so there's really no point to like hoarding a bunch of BOE belts and then hoping to make a lot of money on it later as no longer obtainable items. Yeah, I'm Alliance C, okay. I do have a couple materia that are no longer obtainable, and I keep those in the bank. Or keep those on my retainer, I mean. Because I think that kind of stuff's interesting. I mean, if you guys watch my channel, you'd know that I've done a lot of stuff on unobtainables and... excuse me. Rare, hard to find item stuff. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Get in, guys. Someone else triggered it. So as long as they've got enough, we'll burn through this. I think we've got enough people on each one to handle it. Maybe. Somehow, barely. Good old LOTA. I've had this happen a lot more recently. Oh, nope. There we go. I don't think I triggered it, did I? I saw it attack me, but I wasn't as far up as the bard was. Who knows? We got through it, no big deal. See, oh yeah, this is the one where I don't get to do anything because I'm Alliance C. It will be interesting to see with all the changes that they're making to the numbers. They said some of the old content's going to be quite a bit harder than we're used to. We might actually have to pay attention to some of the mechanics again. The stuff like this is going to be interesting. Because I honestly don't know most of the actual mechanics for this fight. I just know we need to like keep the boots from attacking the pots, if I remember right. Something along those lines. Sandman, yeah. Here we go. And obviously the Nemesis run around doing their thing. Just kill them as we can. Yeah, see, like, yeah. I can't say it's necessarily a bad thing that we have to, like, relearn some of this stuff. Because, I mean, you look at what we're doing right now. I've got nothing to do. Build some ads. That's really about it. I can't even get to them half the time. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting change. Having to relearn a lot of it. It'll be interesting for vets, too, because I'm sure there's a lot of vets that don't remember most of this stuff either. We're so used to just kind of burning through it after a certain point. I don't remember this being as long of a run, man. Gotta kill the Visago dudes. How many does this give? I think it's 5. I think it's 5. We'll find out. It might only be 3. I hope it's more than 3. That's the will of the cards at this point. Alright, here we go. Bomb. I know it's only the napalm we like have to kill, but I don't know. It just seems easier this way. There you go. Okay. Something that I thought was kind of interesting. I can't remember if this was mentioned in the media tour or if it's just something he's talked about before. But people have been asking, like, hey, is there going to be like a big Final Fantasy VII thing going on to celebrate the remake? And he wants to do it. He doesn't want a small event for 7, from what I understand. So he wants something that's kind of big with it and something kind of special. So whenever they do start doing a little bit more with Final Fantasy VII stuff, you know, it'll be a little bit more in terms of, you know, big bosses and that kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of fun. 7's not necessarily my favorite. 6 is probably my favorite. 6 or 10. I am very excited about the stuff from 10 that we're getting in the next expansion, at least from what little we know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting to hear him talk about 7 being too big a one for them to just do like a small collab like they did with 15. You know, they want something a little bit bigger and epic with it, so. Yeah. Alright, here we got him dropped this time. I was hoping we'd have him down a little bit more. Maybe our range can burn him through this last little bit. I'm trying. I can only do so much from afar. There we go. Wait, this is the same music, I think, as Circus, isn't it? Maybe. Well, we'll see how this goes. We've got a couple sprouts, but it doesn't seem like it's been too bad. All we can do is give it a go and try. Alright, we all good? Someone pulling? Alright. I think it's at what, 40% that he does the first one? I think it is. I always forget. It might be 50. There we go. Not too bad. Positioning was good on that one. I've got to remember the next one at 20. I've forgotten about that one a couple of times. I'm not immune. And probably messed that up. Should have used the trick attack before using the ninjutsu. Oh my god, stop moving. Here we go. Just in time. There we go. So not as many sprouts as I thought. Seemed like everyone got it pretty well. Go ahead and get the claws down here. Here we go. He'll be dead soon. I'm not going to worry about the Huton. Wouldn't really get much out of it. Here we go. Hey, we did it. Always calm. Always calm the red mage when I can. Don't really need anything, so back out. Oh my god, someone already got their jacket. Jesus. Wow. Ugh. Let's see. Guess I can go and how many did I get from that one? Ah, it is only 3. That sucks. Wow. All right. So there we have it. It's been about 2 hours, so I'll go ahead and call it here for now. I might stream a little bit more later tonight. Right now I need some food. But yeah, so I hope you guys had fun kind of going over all the media tour stuff with me, and just kind of doing a little recap, discussing all of that good stuff, and then running a couple dungeons. Yeah, we're almost there. I'm going to be streaming a lot over the next month, and then like I said, once Endwalker drops, it's going to be gonna be all Final Fantasy all the time, so we're almost there. I hope you guys had a good time just kind of hanging out with me. If you're watching on the VOD a little bit later, thank you for giving me a shot. If you do like the content, want to check out when I'm going live again and all of that in the future, just make sure and subscribe down there below, and it'll let you know. I usually try putting stuff up as 30 minutes ahead of time if I can. But at least you'll know when the VODs come up. But thanks a ton, guys, and hope you guys enjoy the Mogtome event. Like I said, I'll probably stream back in a little bit more after I've had some food and whatnot. But thanks a ton. Have a good afternoon.